How about now? How about now? Is this working? Seriously, I think it's working. Okay. So what I did was I hit the broadcast button without having added my video to the stream or having added the audio. So you just got the blooper of the day, and I feel like an idiot. So yeah, that's just, adventures in live streaming on YouTube. So welcome everyone to Livestream Wednesday. Today, the plan is to have guest Nick Allen, he's 2-hour blogger, to jump on with us. He actually has an appointment that looks to be running a little bit late. So he will get here when he gets here. And that is all right. That's cool with me. I have a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about today before he gets here anyway, so that is totally fine. But first up, what I want to do is, first of all, welcome folks who are here live. I know that Anthony, that's Tortoise Cash Flow, Paul and Jana are here. And if you are here and lurking, please let us know so I can say hi to you. And for those of you who catch this on the replay, thank you for being here. Thank you for checking this out. Let me know you were here by leaving a comment or hashtag replay or something, so that we know that you were here and that we're on this journey together. I see Jesse jumping on. I see Adrian. What is up, everyone? Basically, all my favorite people are jumping into the chat right now, which is great because I wanted to say some nice things about some of y'all. So first up, the plan today, again, like I said, is to check in with Nick Allen when he gets here. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk a bit about the accountability group that we launched officially 6 days ago for our MIGA, our Make the Internet Great Again challenge or project. I've got my MIGA site in progress, and I know several of you who are watching this live or on the replay do as well. I wanted to talk to Nick and then also just talk a little bit about 2021 and goal setting and all of the rest. So first, before we go down the road of any of that, though, I wanted to address some of the comments about the live channel. Some people don't like it. Some people say, oh, well, I like having everything in one place. And I totally get that. But the experiment, the reason to try doing this was to see if it had any impact on my stats. Would it change anything? Would it make anything different or better? And so take this with a grain of salt, right? I made a lot of videos in 2020, and I also did a lot of live streams. I basically live streamed every week for almost the entire year. And what happened was in probably at the end of the summer, I was tired and I just fell into just live streaming, only live streaming. And the live streams would do really well. So I'd see this spike, right? This big spike on live stream day, but then it would fall way down. And what I noticed was that my other videos that had previously been posted that were, about everything, right? All of my library also started to perform less well. And so somebody suggested that maybe the live streams was the problem, and not doing live streams, but the spikes and the inconsistent stats and the fact that live streams aren't evergreen. I thought, all right, let's just take those off and see what will happen, if anything. And I honestly didn't think I would have anything to report for weeks, right? But what I can say is since I stopped putting live streams on my main channel and I made like 1 or 2 regular videos, those other videos, those older videos have started to see some movement. Like my top video right now is a video that wasn't doing anything for me at all. And so you say, okay, well, how do we know for sure if it's the live streams? How do we know if it isn't that you are, making other content or whatever? I said, I don't know. But my stats, so the daily views has really stabilized. So instead of going up and down like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, it's really, really stable. So even when I post a new video, you'd expect to see a major spike. So there is a spike there, but it doesn't fall down as far. And I want to say that it's almost close to double the daily views that I was getting before. And that's not on the newer content. That is my old content that is seeing more traffic. And overall, the channel is getting more views. And I don't necessarily see that watch time is being harmed at all. Like watch time hasn't fallen from moving the live streams because more of my content is being consumed overall. So this experiment so far is leading me down the road of thinking that moving the live streams to its own home was a good idea. Just saying. Now, would I change anything? Like, would I say, oh, people should, if they want to live stream, they should start streaming on a separate channel? I would say absolutely not. I wouldn't change anything about what I did in this last year as far as live streaming, because it helped me grow a channel. It helped me get monetized. It helped me connect with people. But now I just see some of the benefits of making its own home. So tentatively, this is going to continue unless I can come up with a reason not to do it this way. Anyway, I digress. So there is Will. What's going on? There's Alexander and Gabrielle and Stephen. What's up? Thanks for jumping on. Jesse says, I don't mind the second channel, but how do you look at a list of upcoming interviews? So what I have done in StreamYard is scheduled the broadcast in advance. And what I don't like, and I'm just going to go over to my YouTube. Well, heck, it'll take me a minute to get over there. And I'm watching for Nick. I don't see him just yet. But if I go to my channel, I look at home and then I look at videos under uploads, there should be a tab. So in uploads, you hit the tab and you can scroll down to upcoming live streams. And so that should tell you what is coming up. And what we have scheduled coming up is Bo of Waves and Websites is coming. And then Jesse is going to come on to the stream. And then so is Carl. So and the next Carl, and that's Coral Broadband, Corn Broadband is coming on the stream in the next couple of weeks. So that's really fun. I'm also working with Ron Stefanski of 1 Hour Professor to go on one of his live streams for fun, just because it's fun to network and chat. And you guys know that I am the queen of that. I really enjoy talking to people. Gabrielle says, it makes sense since live streams show no ads. Why would YouTube like them? Live streams do show ads, or they were showing ads on my channel before. For the people who are looking at it now on this channel, there are definitely no ads because it is not monetized. There is Carl. Corn Broadbent. Hey, Carl, you're on my list of people to shout out in this live stream. You've really taken this, I want to start a new project and run with it. And then by crowdsourcing and educating people as you are building your site and then planning on giving it away after 12 months, it's no wonder that your YouTube is growing as quickly as it is. And props to you for doing that. I think it's awesome. Next up, I wanted to talk about the MIGA Content Site Challenge, and I'm going to do something I very rarely do, which is share my screen because most of the time I worry about breaking stuff. This is the MIGA spreadsheet. So for folks who haven't been in it or wonder what the heck we're talking about, this content challenge is basically a spreadsheet, and what you get out of it is basically what you are willing to put into it. And so I wanted to just do a quick moment to give some shout outs to folks specifically taking action. So Anthony of Tortoise Cashflow, Anthony has definitely grabbed the reins on this, and especially with YouTube. And today I just wanted to say that I saw his very first video where he showed his face, which is a big progress because initially he was only doing screen share videos, and he added an intro and an outro, and those just do so much to make your channel like legit professional. It just, you can really see the growth and the improvement of your videos. Will says, is it too late to join the spreadsheet? And I say, never too late. What I do see, though, as I'm looking through the spreadsheet, is that some folks who jumped in initially have removed their names, which is totally okay. And then some folks continue to jump on, which is pretty cool. I also want to shout out Paul Harrison, who was here, although it is tea time in the UK. And I recognize that Carl often has to run away too to feed the children. But I just wanted to shout out Paul Harrison because, and I have shared one of his videos before in the community tab. He just jumped on, decided, okay, I'm going to start making daily update videos documenting his progress and what the challenges are. And I am sorry that your poor missus feels neglected. Paul, you just got to tell her this is important. This is important. This is so important to do. So, but thank you for sharing those with us, Paul, and trusting us to support you through this, because it really is fun to see what people are doing. And then and then how that is working out. So props to you for, I mean, I don't know if it was hard to start making videos or if it's something that you have or never done, but here it is. I have somebody asking for the link to the spreadsheet. I want to stop sharing that because I'm a moron. All right. I don't know. Will StreamYard let me put it over here? Let's see. I don't know. What else? I wanted to shout out Patrick Cardano. He's Patrick Poe on the spreadsheet. He also jumped in and made a video for month 0 and went ahead and shared that with us, which is really cool because it's like really putting yourself out there. And I just think so highly of folks that are willing to just try it out. Carl says feeding time at the zoo here. Yes. So, you know. I also wanted to just say really quickly, I wanted to recognize Margaret, Shane, Adrian, Sue, Bo of Waves and Websites, Himal, Commit, and Alex. I've been talking to some of you online and offline. Offline, I mean, on the spreadsheet and off the spreadsheet. Not everybody is updating every day, which is not necessary, but I just know that you guys are actually like getting into this and then putting some time in and making some progress. And I just want to recognize you. I mean, publicly say, you know, this is a great thing that you are doing. And then I wanted to call out, let's see, Niche Safari Chris, who was like the third person to jump in on this. And then his goal was learning to set goals. And then he erased his goal and then hasn't updated the spreadsheet at all. So if you see Niche Safari Chris anywhere, you should hassle him about it. Also, Patricia, Yaya, Tiampa, George, Ghost, NextGen, Abdul, Jaina, who is here, by the way, and made her very first dollar online just recently, I think in the last couple of days. Amy and Michelle, you guys jumped in but haven't done any updating. No judgment here. I know that life happens and all the rest, but come on. Why join the spreadsheet if you're not going to update it? Seriously, people. Seriously. But yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun. I definitely will say that it's working for me. It's definitely pulling me to my computer after I put the kids to bed, which is something that I really struggle to do. It is not my favorite thing to do, and it means that I probably sleep less. But I do have my new site up, and I am working on it every day. And I have a couple of posts up, and my goal is to get to 30,000 words on the site, and I am well on my way. I think that I have bitten off just enough to be able to get this done. I see Jop jumping into the chat. What's going on, man? Thanks for dropping in. So I had planned to talk to Nick Allen today, and he said that he had someone, an appointment, that it was an inspector for something, and he said he would be here. And I guess if he doesn't get here, then you will watch me get stood up on YouTube live, and you can console me as I cry. Nah, life happens. And Nick, if you miss this and you watch this on the stream, no hard feelings, man. It happens. And luckily, I do these live streams enough and have enough things to talk about that it won't make a terrible difference. Let me see. I'm going to turn the page of questions that I had for Nick Allen. The No Hour Blogger, poor thing. He's going to get hassled because of this. Hopefully not terribly. For those of you who are in the chat, this is also a reminder that this is our accountability time. And so this is a time for you to share wins, losses, mistakes, things that we can all learn from. Again, this is the point of this, right? We don't come here necessarily to learn, right? There's the folks who know how to do this stuff. This is a time to sort of network. One of the things that I did want to talk about while Nick is here and it gives me some airtime is I've actually been thinking about creating some small group type masterminds. I don't want to call it a mastermind because I think masterminds are like overdone, the word. But one of the things that I started in 2020 that I really recommend for other people is to create some small groups that maybe you meet online. I mean, it's not possible in most cases to meet in person, but I started meeting with a group of 2 other folks. The original goal was 3 other folks, so for 4 total, but just meeting on Google Hangouts for free, just to say, okay, consistently meet once a week for accountability, to be social, to ask questions, and to help each other. And I found it really, really valuable. And so this is my, I guess, question to you. Is there anybody out there who could use something like this? Because what I was thinking of doing was being sort of the frame and bringing in a couple of people who want to do this, to try to match them and basically meet with the group like once a week for the first month, and then just setting the group free. Because I don't think I could do lots of these types of groups, but I think it would be a great way to, I guess, support the community by helping people with the networking, which has been basically critical for my growth and progress. I don't think that I would be this far without having other people to talk to. But if you are new to this, or you don't know anyone else, then it could be really hard to know who to reach out to and say, hey, like, you guys want to hang out with me and talk to me like every week? And sometimes those groups, like, you mix people up and it doesn't work, like it doesn't jive all that well. But so I just want to put this out there. Does anybody, again, this isn't a money thing. This isn't like me trying to make money off folks. I legitimately want to see who wants to maybe just meet on Google Meet like once a week for an hour. And ideally you'd want to catch people who are in similar time zones, right? Because it would be really hard to schedule someone who is in the UK and somebody who's in Australia and then somebody who is in Canada. But, I don't know, reach out to me, DM me, send me an email, something. I am looking for, I think 3 people who are probably in similar time zones. And I guess if everybody was in the Australia, New Zealand, that side of the world, we could do that and definitely come up with some times that would work. But also in the UK, US, Europe side of the world, like, oh, there's Nick. Oh boy, roast him. He's only oh, I figured he would be getting here eventually. Luckily, I didn't like shred all of my questions. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, let me know. Another thing that I had planned to talk about today, and I'm still planning on talking about that with Nick, is that I have publicly come out and said that my goal in 2021 is to get this channel to 10,000 subscribers. And so not this channel, but my main channel. And the question is like, well, how to do that? And I think one of the ways that I will work towards that is moving my live streams off so I can maximize the library that I've already created. But also I need to create a lot more content. And I really have to confront the fact that it's content that I'm not like the most excited about making. And so I just would ask people who are in my audience already to have patience with me while I start working on creating maybe content that is aimed at people who are not already in our audience, to try to draw in more people, or aimed at potentially beginners. I mean, you see Ron Stefanski, 1 hour professor, one of the things he did last year was really dive deep into keyword focused videos to try and bring in folks who might discover him through those videos. And for me, I would watch those videos come through, and honestly, not a lot of them were that interesting to me, right? Sometimes there were videos like how to use AdSense, or, make money with AdSense. So you could see that they're very keyword focused. And, they weren't necessarily videos that I would watch, but, I respect the hustle, respect the grind, all #hustle. And I haven't wanted to make those videos because I don't think I'm good at them. But you really can't deny, like, his channel has basically doubled in size since he started doing that kind of work. I don't know. Does anybody have any thoughts about what the reaction would be if I started making like short tutorial videos, or just, about things that I know about, but still, is it like #unsubscribe? Where is Nick? You see me totally riffing like, But yeah, so some of the videos that are in the pipeline that I'm planning on doing, I'm actually planning on doing some dives into the Ezoic analytics. So for folks who are just getting started with Ezoic, and I think that the Ezoic keywords are underserved. I think that it's pretty easy to rank for those keywords because not many people are actually making like tutorial videos for Ezoic, and I think there are a lot of people who could benefit from them. So I see Nick there, and I want to make sure before I move him on, I need you to give me a thumbs up, man, when you're ready to go. And I don't know if you can hear me or see me. He says ready to go.
That
All right.
the cam works. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up,
Hey, how's
Nick?
it going, Emilia?
Hey, thanks for dropping in. I'm sorry that we roasted you in your absence. I know that you had an appointment and that
Yep,
you were going to
yeah,
be late.
some of these inspectors, they have to come on a certain day and you have to set the thing up. You don't know how long it's gonna be.
Yeah, was it stressful? You're like, get out right now. I have someplace to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, well, we so far what we have talked about is the by January, make the internet great again, accountability challenge. We've talked a little bit about YouTube, and we did our shout outs already. So I'm ready to talk to you. So
Let's do it.
folks, yeah, in the description of this video, if you guys aren't familiar with this individual, this is Nick Allen of 2 Hour Blogger. He is a blogger with at least 1 or 2 successful sites, and we did an interview with him last month, so the link is in the description. But for folks who don't know who you are or are catching this in the future, just give us an introduction. Who are you and what are you about?
I'm a blogger. I started in 2016. I've been doing affiliate marketing since then as a kind of way to just earn passive income, and since then it's become my full-time gig.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
now, I'm starting a YouTube channel, basically on how I do this kind of stuff. It's not really my primary focus at the moment, but I do love to give back and just share some tips and stuff here on the side.
I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing either for people to say, I started a YouTube channel because I like the idea of making videos and potentially making that another income stream. In fact, I encourage it. Like, I think it's a
Certainly.
great way for people to just make sometimes little extra money that can sometimes pay for tools or pay for hosting or domain to just make those
Yeah, I
first
mean, some
dollars.
of the tools we use, Ahrefs, I'm paying 179 a month for. So, I mean, even just that, like, stuff like that. My hosting's about to go up now too,
Oh,
you know.
God.
So,
Who are you using for hosting?
WP Engine. It's pricier, but their support is insanely fast. And you're going to get a lot of people that say, well, no, I use this, I use this, I use the other thing. At the end of the day, if it works, it works. And I'm going to keep with it because changing hosting is such a nightmare. If
Yeah, well,
anyone's ever done that before.
I have, and
Yeah.
yes, and which is why I always end up choosing hosting that does the migration for you.
Yes, you need that.
I mean, I could do it, but then it's
I don't
like
want
the
to do it.
idea of
I don't want to do
just,
it.
I don't want to do it. So I was going to ask you, I mean, folks, I don't want to go through like your entire origin story because we've done that, but I did want to ask you, did you see any like turbulence in the Christmas updates in November from the?
Yep. We've seen a lot of Christmas, a lot of changes during this update over Christmas when it was early December, I think.
Yeah, positive or
Um,
negative or both?
Positive for me, negative for a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of sites that are more in the black/gray hat area taking hits, is in my industry at least, and pretty significant hits too.
But for you, you saw an
I saw a
uptick. So
dramatic increase, but that's
so
not going to be the
dramatic, like
case.
dramatic, like dramatic,
Like
like
5,000 sessions a day now,
compared to
compared to 2 to 3,000.
so almost more than double,
Yeah.
basically.
Hmm.
And that just happened like all in one day. Like you're going along, and
Well,
then
the
December.
thing is too is like during the retail season at the end of Q4, you're going to see a natural increase just from higher search.
So
Just
did it
in
fall after
general,
Christmas though?
it fell a little bit, but it's almost barely noticeable.
So it's still trending up higher. So
Yeah.
it was. How about so for me? I saw turbulence on the 4th, and then for like basically the 2 weeks after that, and then I also saw a major change actually on Christmas Eve. And you could say, oh, well, it's the holiday stuff. But for me, I saw a spike then that leveled out up high. So some people are going back and forth about whether or not there was another update on the 24th and determine, nah, there wasn't. But I think there was.
Sure. Yeah. No, there definitely could be. There's so many things happening behind the scenes that we probably won't ever know, and it's part of the beast. We have to kind of deal with that.
Do you have any thoughts about why it is that your site performed well in the update?
Yeah, not really. I mean, I'm not out there going and buying backlinks and doing too much, in that kind of gray hat realm. I like to stay pretty clean.
Really quick, Adrian is asking you to turn up the volume on your mic a little bit.
Yeah,
I
let
think
me
people are having a hard time hearing you. I mean, I can hear you fine, but
How's this? Is that better?
I think so.
As long as it doesn't get distorted.
Yeah, no, so far that sounds it sounds louder but not distorted.
Good.
Will is asking, do you use Pinterest?
I do not use Pinterest. I initially started trying to use Pinterest because I saw some competitors doing it, kind of creating graphics that would link to each one of your articles. But I just, in my niche, there's just not people. I'm in the music niche, and there's really not that much music, an audience for music on Pinterest. I feel like it's more DIY, crafts, decor, fashion, beauty, that kind of thing. I think does well on Pinterest, but not in my niche.
Do you know the gender breakdown of your audience, whether it's male or female or both?
I mean, I probably can. I don't have it, set up right here to
I don't know,
look
just
at,
something
but
to think about. I hate to go down the road of
yeah,
like,
it
oh,
is. It is a more male dominated area.
well, this thing though, you just wonder if that's part of the reason why you tend to focus on the place where your audience is.
Definitely.
And while Pinterest does talk a lot about how more men are going to the platform, that is still dominated primarily by women. And if your site isn't aimed at women, that it would make sense that you might not perform well on Pinterest.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but
It,
is there any efforts then to try to pull then? I mean, there's a lot of people out there who probably be interested in your topic, but it's like, how do you pull the women in?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer for that, and it's almost on the individual to decide whether they're going to go into this. I don't really know what I can do to appeal, but I'm just covering the topics.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard without looking at your site to say, okay, why is it that we tend to, I think, attract what we are, right? And we
Yeah,
tend to, which
definitely.
is so funny because my YouTube channel the viewership is almost 90% male,
Right.
which is interesting because you think that I would attract the ladies, but I don't. Yeah,
Right.
like problem number 27,000 for 2021 to try to figure out is where are the ladies at?
Where
I don't
they
know
at?
either.
Right.
But so you have so you have a second project. You have your music site, which is your baby that you're never going to unload. You're going to keep forever. It's your
Yep.
brand. It's your baby. But you started another site in 2020 or before.
Ish. Yeah. I don't know if it was maybe in 2019 even. It was something that I put together and kind of just put on the back burner. It literally has the 2020 theme installed. I haven't even looked even beyond that.
So is
Which
this something?
honestly, it's like that is a basic theme that you get stock WordPress, but it's not actually bad.
Are you
It's
planning
quick.
on Are you planning on doing much work with your second project site?
Yeah, eventually. I'm just so focused. Like right now, I have like 200 or some posts now that all need updates. They need new products. They need date adjustments because now we're in the next year. So any roundup that says 2020, well, that's going to have to get fixed.
So when you're picking out keywords then for your sites, I mean, what's your strategy for saying, okay, this is an article that I want to write on?
Well, I mean, if you're in Ahrefs, you can see a list of competitors that you have,
Mhm.
and you run them through Ahrefs individually, and you see which ones they're ranking for, and you can come up with a list just like that. And in my case, I notice a lot of people that have just poorly written content, so it's easy to go in and say, I can beat this. This is going to be easy.
Oh, you use the basically spying on the competitors, right? Looking at all the keywords that they rank for, look at the pages that are ranking, and then just look at them one by one and say, okay, I think I could do a better job at this.
Definitely. And initially, we start with these lower competition keywords that might have a search volume of say 500 or less, and go. That might be easier to win just because there's not as many competing articles for that keyword.
So when you say low competition, we're talking about the keyword difficulty rating there in Ahrefs. And
if you want to look at keyword difficulty, I'd rather just look at what Google displays and just see, okay, there's there's Pinterest stuff here, there's forums, there's stuff here that's going to be easily outranked by a good piece of content. If something's sitting there with 200 words, that's easy to beat.
But as far as, especially folks who are in the e-commerce product type reviews, but what about when you see things like Amazon and other product focused sites ranking in those top 10? Do you think that we can outrank Amazon with
you're
going
to have to compete with e-commerce listings for sure. Sometimes that you can outrank them. Amazon seems like they're getting a little bit harder to beat lately.
I think that's one of the shifts.
But usually those listings are not ranking for product name plus review, right? They're ranking for just the product name. And if you rank for the product name, chances are the people are going to go to those e-commerce websites over your review, like first, because they already know what the product is. They're ready to buy it. So they're searching just for the product name. So if you add the product name plus review, that has more of an intent that people actually are looking for a genuine review of it.
What's interesting, and one of the shifts that I had to make when I got into affiliate marketing was thinking about keywords that would allow me to suggest the product as the solution. So you say, okay, my product that I want to recommend is this microphone, right?
Yeah.
And so you initially would start looking for keywords that are the Samsung Q2U review or all the various things. But when I started to find this, I guess, process a lot easier, because everybody writes the review for this, right? I'm competing with all the people in the world who are reviewing
audio blogs, everything.
Yeah, is looking for the keywords that are the problem, right? So people are searching the problem where the microphone is the solution. And that is something that I think make it easier for people who are struggling to compete with Amazon, is to think of keywords that are low competition that talk about the problem.
Sure. Like how to make my audio quality better on videos, something like that.
Or improving live streams, or improving podcasts, or how to start a podcast, like starting a podcast. And the solution is, okay, you need to have a link to the products that you need. And that can be a way for people to find low competition keywords, because not everybody, I think most beginners, I'm not going to say all, but most beginners have trouble making that transition. And a lot of people quit before they start to think about the problems in their keywords.
Yeah, no, that's a great example. I mean, one of my top posts, I'm not going to name the exact title of it, but it's basically how to make a YouTube cover video. So it goes through, what you need for a camera. If you want to use your phone, you want to use a GoPro, you want to use a DSLR, that's step one. Now, what are you going to do for audio? You're just going to use the camera's audio. Are you going to use microphones? How are you going to do that? So it lays out everything, lighting, all that kind of stuff. So it's this big guide. It gives you the rundown whether you want to go budget or pro. And that's a great way. These how-to articles are super, super important.
They are. And those aren't always necessarily the most competitive places, because I think most affiliate marketers, they go straight to and it's something that's taught, right, in a lot of courses, is the buyer intent keywords. Only write on the keyword if it is a buyer intent keyword, because then those people are looking to click on links to buy. But those are also the keywords that everybody wants. And I think that's a way that people could make progress in maybe an affiliate program that they thought was too competitive. Like, I have looked for a while at maybe doing email marketing, right, as an affiliate site, because I really like the idea of software products for MMR, monthly recurring revenue, because I have a site that does that, and I like that money because that money keeps coming. But it's
almost to a certain extent.
But it's so competitive. Like, everybody and their mom is in there, and they are running ads, and they are doing all of the channels. They're the experienced ladies and gentlemen, but that is really how you compete with them, is you pick out the keywords that they're not going for, because just about everybody is going to write buyer's guide.
Everyone wants to get on the hosting commissions, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's
because they're so insane.
Yeah. Well, why would you? It's like Amazon. I could get 66 cents for this product that I recommended that's $15, or I could get $79 every month in perpetuity as long as that person has that product, and it's basically the same amount of work to make the blog post.
Yeah.
But that's why everybody is over there.
Yeah,
And
exactly. I want to look up something real quick. This is going to go a little off track, but since we were
Sure.
talking about
Or
percentages,
hey, it's live. We could do
commissions. There is something that you can sign up for if you're a part of Commission Junction. I know there's CJ now, where you become, I forget what it's called. It's like a special content program reserved for like their more quality websites. So you have to apply for it separately of your affiliate account. Now this is super cool because it gives you these publishers are willing to pay the advertisers are willing to pay higher percent commissions for their same program. So I was in one program for Guitar Center, and they were paying 6% commissions. Once I got in this new program, now they're paying me 10%. So it's a big increase.
What I mean, was there a criteria like you had to have a site that had so much traffic, or you had to be?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what this was called. It was like, I may have to get back to you on this, but it's definitely worth it.
Will has a question. He says, in terms of outreach for backlinks, what's the lowest DR score sites that you would reach out to write for? I mean, are you doing any outreach for backlinking?
Not currently. Not currently. I used to do it a lot. To be honest, I never really looked at the the DR, because I just don't think it holds that much value. A lot of people think that it does, but I basically look for websites that are active and they're not spammy. They cover the niche well, and they're honest. And it's just, you look for quality sites. Like you look for a site that one day could be really big, or you look for websites that aren't black hat, aren't gray hat, aren't these spammy sites. So you just have to be careful with that. But I would say in general, if you're really concerned about the DA of websites, if it's 20 plus, that's fine. If you can get like some crazy, 60 DR or DA site, I mean, that's great too.
Backlinks are a constant topic, arguments amongst folks. And so it's just nice to hear sort of what people are doing, because some people build links and some people don't. Some people say, I would never do one or the other. And so your music site, your bread and butter site right now, basically your business, that's a site that you are not currently building links on. And have you done it?
I just don't really have to anymore. It's gotten to the point where I'm just getting them naturally. So they come in. And a good way to do that is, think about what people are going to link to. Like, let's say you're writing your own article, and you're trying to link out to authoritative websites in your content, right? What do? Like, let's say you want to link on something in your content. You go on Google and you search for whatever that is, and you're probably going to link to the top article on some research or something that's already there, right? So as a blog writer, you need to write content that people would want to link to, right? It sounds very simple, but I always go back to one that would be like, music streaming. That has exploded, right, over the last 5 years. So music streaming statistics, that would be an example, right, of where if you had statistics on something, people would easily want to link to that because it's just a quick resource people can go to. And you'll see that a lot of these statistic articles get insane amounts of backlinks just naturally. So I think it's a good idea if you can find some area in your niche that statistics can play a role, and you can do some research, write a good article, and maybe it's not going to get the most traffic, but it might get a lot of backlinks. And
it really highlights something. You don't necessarily need thousands of articles that get thousands of backlinks. You could dramatically improve your site's authority, or your page authority, maybe with one of those.
Exactly.
It might just take one of your posts that does get a ton of links that could change your positioning. A lot of people, especially in newer sites, have a lot of posts that are either at the bottom of page 1 or on page two, right? Between positions 11 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could just get a little bit more juice to push you up either onto page one or into the top couple of positions, I mean, depending, especially if you're really targeting low competition keywords, it might not take more than a couple of links to make that happen for you.
Exactly.
Sue says she wrote a stats article today, in fact, and I say, good on you, Sue.
Perfect.
So what is do you have a to-do list going for your music site then?
Yeah, I have a Trello board, so
Yeah?
it's kind of just the place where I just throw ideas.
How big is the list right now?
Probably about 40
40.
articles.
So what?
And then I have a separate column that shows where I can drag all the finished ones, into well, I have a category that's editing, and then I have a category that's published and live. So then I'll drag them over to each column and kind of manage the workflow that way.
So on your to-do list, is it just the articles that you want to write, or do you have other plans for the site in 2021? Because we did talk about like brand building, and we talked about, other ways to go. And you have your partner who's into, I think, e-commerce and physical products. And where is your music site going in 2021, aside from just more content?
From what I'm gonna say is, it's gonna be more content. Like that's just the content dump where I can just put any idea. So it's not really specific to blog only, I guess, technically. But I think I'm gonna try to make more YouTube content. But given that it's a music site, I have to find a place where I can do more music without without upsetting neighbors and things. So it's kind of tricky.
Because everybody's home, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We talked a bit about you wanting to expand the brand and also, really serve the fans of music. And what are you going to do to be able to do that? I know you talked about interviews.
I'm on this now. Once we get back into some semblance of normalcy where we can go out to concerts again, I'm gonna try to get into music photography too.
Mhm.
And
stock photos or
no, like interview and photography at live shows.
Mm. So for fans,
I'm
right?
friends with a big club around here, and so I'll be able to, get a photo pass and hopefully do a lot of big shows.
I mean, that sounds like fun, first of all.
It will be. I'll be having fun for sure.
But what are you going to do in the meantime? Are you going to, wait as far as the brand stuff in the meantime? Or is it just, all right, I'm going to just do this, put my nose to the grindstone on the blog articles until COVID is gone?
I think I figured out something that works, and I'm kind of just exploiting that as far as I can go, really. So in the meantime, dabble here and there in YouTube, which I do have a YouTube channel for the site, but YouTube is a lot of work in compare. I mean, so is blog writing, but just getting the video and everything, like multiple angles and B-roll, and there's a lot to it. But mainly finding a space to really do it is the hard part. I've thought about storage lockers or storage units, but we'll see what happens.
What's interesting about that is I kind of pressed you and like encouraged you to like, oh, these are my ideas and that. And you're like, no, I know what's working and I'm going to stick with that and I'm going to grind it out. And I think that is why so many people who are successful are.
Yeah.
Because they don't get distracted by, like shiny object, shiny object.
That was me in college. I was doing like 9 different things at once. And I thought, oh, well, maybe one of them will do something. But it wasn't until I just focused down on one specific thing that I was able to, take it to where it is today.
Yeah, well, you don't have a portfolio of 10 sites. Like you have one site that you have just poured everything into to grow. And then you have started a second site, but still you're pouring a ton of focus into this one major big site.
Yep, exactly.
Do you have any fear about like what would happen? What would happen to you if that site was gone?
Yep, I sure do. I kind of just roll with it, honestly. I don't know what else to do, Yeah. Make sure you're fiscally responsible.
So are you saving then as far
because
some people they take their money, right, and they reinvest.
Some of it does go back in.
Yeah, well,
but some of it saves too.
So, I mean, are you investing in like real estate or are you just putting it in an account and I'm going to sit on it like Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah, I'd like to, but I'm so new to it. I'm so new to it, so I have, if I was going to get into real estate kind of stuff, but that is on my radar. Just it's not. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, it's the privilege of us with lots of gray hair. So we're able to pursue some of that stuff a little bit
Yeah.
longer. So let's talk about life outside of blogging. Do you have personal goals for 2021 that don't involve writing blog posts?
Well, yeah. Well, obviously yes, but
Well, no, not
um,
obviously. I mean, you're like nose to the
well,
grindstone,
like
man.
we going back to the real estate stuff, but at some point I would like to buy a house,
Mhm.
but it's just right now it doesn't really seem like a good time. I don't know much about it, but just like looking at pricing and stuff, it just seems like everything is pretty high right now, from my understanding, and maybe it'll come down. I don't know.
Well, one of the things I have seen from many of my colleagues and friends and experienced myself is that burnout is with especially new projects and with working online when you're working for yourself is a real thing. And so one of the things I'm trying to do in 2021 is to bite off smaller chunks, right? And have more realistic expectations about that and being okay with things like I'm going to bed and not staying up to post another 500 words or, just because I have this goal I want to get to, is focusing at all on maybe mental health and physical health a part of 2021 for you?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, you went through COVID already, so we know that you're like coming off of COVID and then heading into 2021.
Yeah, thankfully that was mild. The anxiety of that was not fun because you hear doom and gloom every day, and then you get it, and well, you hope for the best, and thankfully it was mild. But no, yeah, I mean, last year I bought a new bike, so as soon as the weather gets a little warmer here, that'll be happening.
Where in the world are you?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. So right now
Yeah,
you're what, like ankle, like what, hip
28
deep in
degrees.
snow, like snow to
A
like.
little bit, like 6 inches, maybe less. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about mistakes. What did you do wrong in 2020? Anything?
I'm sure there's a lot that went wrong. Uh,
Well, there's went wrong and then there's did wrong. And those
right.
are two different things because lots of things went wrong in 2020. But how many of them were you at the driver's seat on? You're like, oh,
Well, I think I could have taken advantage of more video content more for sure. Um, because sometimes when you get to a certain level, you do get a little complacent at certain points, and you start to think, well, this is kind of just automatic now. It's easy, but you can't have that mindset. You have to keep pushing at it, keep pushing because you said earlier, you don't know what happens if something goes wrong with your business and it vanishes overnight. Which is partially why I always say that you should diversify away from Amazon because that program itself could go away, and I think that it will.
I think it will.
Yeah. So similar kind of thing, which is why I want to start that second site well, it is started. I want to keep going on it rather and keep pushing that forward.
I definitely felt more motivation when I was making less money.
For sure.
The desperation is perspiration. And I've talked to a lot of people about this where they just have a harder time, probably putting in the work. Maybe they still work, but they just don't put in as much work as they did when it was like it's go time. Like I
Yeah.
have no choice. Do you feel that your motivation and drive is different than it was maybe when this was not the the what it is for you today?
Yeah, potentially. Um, I think part of it too is kind of a feeling of reward. Um, and it all happened in the worst year that could ever be, right? This year or this last year now. So for me, it was kind of like a nice like, oh, well, all's kind of happening in the world. At least the site is doing pretty well, and I can kind of relax a little bit, and it's okay. But prior to that, for the last 3 years, um, it was just I was grinding away all the time, trying to get this thing to work.
Did you ever think that it would be what it is? I mean, I forget if you shared the revenue, like if you shared how much your site made in, have you shared how much your site made in December?
I haven't shared December yet. But no, I didn't really think. I remember you would see a couple sales and go, oh dang, if we can get this to $10 every day, that would be sweet. That'd be awesome. Like I never had expectations of my website being a full-time income. I just never set my standard to that because I didn't want to feel disappointed, if it didn't reach a certain threshold, but also I wasn't committed that it was going to be my job right away. So, but no, December was really good.
Can you share? Will you share?
Can I share? We did 27,000. Yeah. So, there you go. Quite a good month.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is amazing, and you should be so proud of yourself, because I feel like when we talked about this a month ago, I don't remember that the months leading up to it as being as good at that, and that's just a testament to all the work that you have done. I mean, that's just,
yeah.
I'm sorry, that's like a double harmonica.
Yeah. It was hard to believe, but I attribute a lot of that to the holiday season, clearly, but
oh, obviously, of course, you're in Q4. It's the holidays. Everybody's at home. I know I spent more money on Christmas stuff than usual because there was nothing else to do. But still, like, look at, there's Will saying congrats.
Yeah,
Jesse's
thanks, chat.
like the chat is like, yeah. On the replay, people are gonna hear that and be like, what?
What? Yeah, Amazon ended up 6,900. Another I'm trying to like load this up.
Yeah, sure. No, it's cool. Like, I'm sure. I mean, I love celebrating people's success. Like,
yeah,
that's just so fun to hear because it tells everybody else, like, this is really possible.
Yeah, it is. The impact, we had 14.5. Mediavine, I think, was like 3. Whatever it was. Yeah, so you add everything everywhere, you're diversified up, and you can get pretty good results if you keep at this.
Yeah, and so as far as that, then how much of that was profit, do you think?
Well, I'd say my expenses are a little under 1,000.
Mm-hmm. So
26.
Pretty darn good is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, what I like about this and the fact that, one, you were willing to come on the live stream and share that. I mean, I don't talk about income all that much because I don't always think that that should be the focus, right? But I do think that it was important to share because there's a lot of people in here who, one, I haven't had that moment yet where it's real. They just see other people doing it. And, usually the people who are sharing are the people who are maybe selling courses or have other incentive to talk about their income. And you're a guy who's working on his passion project, and it just happens to make you a pretty decent living.
It does. And that's why I always go back to the passion thing. But, it also can be good if you can find something that not a lot of people are in. And you know what? Maybe you develop the passion.
Maybe as you're learning about it.
And you can become an authority by doing that too. Just in your own eyes, really. So.
Well, I started a new site in January of this year, and it is not a passion of mine. But
you were telling me in the other video.
Yeah. But it is something that I can do with my kids. And so I've decided that it is going to become something that we do because it will give me the opportunity to take pictures, and then also to become more, the content will be easier to write, if I'm actually doing this thing and I actually have the product, so that I can create maybe videos in the future about it. But like I said, I mean, it's not my passion, but all of my current passions are very competitive. Everybody, because I'm not a snowflake. Like, there's nothing unique about me. I like the same stuff that everybody else does.
Yeah.
So I've got to go out there and find something that lots of other people like, that aren't maybe the mainstream, like, cool, super cool ideas.
Yeah.
So then your goals for the site in 2021 is just to crush it in content. Jesse says, how many articles are on your music? Jesse's like, I got to find out what this guy's doing. He's like, how many articles do you have on your site?
Thank you, Niche Informer. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Jana. Adrian, what's up? How many articles? Let me look. I think it's like 210.
So Jesse, basically, he doesn't have to have 10,000. A lot of us follow John Dykstra in this space, and he crushes it with content. But usually, his sites that are doing really well have thousands.
Oh yeah,
of
for
articles.
sure.
So it just leads to this belief that to be able to make money in ads and in affiliate stuff, you literally have to have like 5,000 articles.
Yeah, it does kind of depend on the niche. Let me see here. Yeah, 203.
But basically finding the right niche, you can really get focused, but not necessarily need thousands of articles. Would you say that
these top posts here,
that your articles are shorter? Or do you like do really long
Some
form?
of them are shorter. Some of them are. And some of them actually win, even though they're short.
Mm-hmm.
But the main like pillar, if you want to call them that, are some of them are 5, 6, 7,000 words.
Jesse says that Nick is monetized very well with affiliate stuff, and I'm guessing some of the products are high ticket.
Yeah, we do have high ticket stuff. One of my top posts is going to be an instrument that, can be $1,000 to $7,000, $8,000. Those are not selling every day, though. Let me tell you that. It's not like, just slinging these things,
No, but if you sold like one a month or two a month,
right,
with a 10% commission,
right, and then you get that Guitar Center 10%. There you go.
I mean, that's all. I mean, depending on if you were single with no children, you could almost live off of.
Yeah, exactly.
1 or 2 commissions in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony wants to know, how much traffic do you get to the site?
Let me tell you. Last 30 days, 122,000 sessions.
So again, this isn't. So I guess
that could be holiday traffic too.
Yeah, so probably less.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
Yeah, probably around 100.
So probably what the takeaway is here is, I mean, you can take over a niche by posting thousands of articles, or you can spend a lot of time in your niche selection and like basically win the day in the topic that you've chosen.
I like this niche because there's a lot of low ticket items that are, $5 accessories. There's mid-range stuff, $100 to $200, and then there's the high ticket stuff too. So you really have a blend of all different kind of products. It's really nice.
Are you guys doing any of your own products?
I have gotten samples, but I haven't done anything yet because, the last year with COVID and everything, and I don't know any suppliers here really, not yet anyway.
Can you talk about the products that you're looking at? I mean, I'm thinking like merch versus like...
These are going to be like practice tools that can help you with, practicing music. So kind of stuff like that, small enough that, it's easy to ship. It's not going to be like big and cumbersome.
So it'd be cheap to ship, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's where a lot of people don't realize that they have a product and they have their profit margin, and then they don't think about how much it will actually cost to get it there.
Mm-hmm.
And that can
that's
really
why
eat up.
It's good to have, my friend who does all e-commerce stuff. He's able to help me with that stuff. I just haven't gone down that path quite yet.
Well, just thinking about brand building too, how you say, all right, maybe we could, if people are coming back, if we're the resource, like what else can we make? Because people are really passionate about music. Just like if they're really passionate about something, that they will buy all kinds of ridiculous things because it serves that passion.
Exactly.
Like hats and shirts and
Yep.
mugs and all of the stickers. I don't know. I totally don't understand the sticker thing, but I think I might just be old.
Stickers, are they big?
I don't know. It's just people. I've seen a lot of stuff coming through my YouTube feed lately. It's like stickers, like, selling $2 to $3 stickers.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And people, and then they pay for, the mailing or whatever. But these stickers cost like what, like $0.25?
Yeah, they're cheap
to manufacture, and then you just like try to win on volume.
Right.
And then you say, okay, well, what I'm really looking for isn't a full-time business. It's just I want an extra $200 or $300, and then that becomes something. If you can automate it, then it just does it. You just send them there, and then.
Right. I've always been scared of e-commerce just for the like the customer service side and returns, and I don't know how any of that would work
I
at
do,
all.
and customers are the worst part about e-commerce.
Yeah. So taking it one day at a
Chargebacks,
time. We'll see what happens.
yeah, chargebacks, Stripe, like mailing things to people, and then people saying that it didn't get there, even though Amazon is getting there and like taking a picture of
Yeah.
it, like being on your doorstep, and then having to deal with people like filing.
Yeah. I
I guess.
ran print on demand for the band that I was in, and that was enough of a nightmare with WooCommerce.
Mhm.
I didn't like doing that at all. It was like, I don't know. I just it's hard. It's not easy.
Are you
Management.
are you still in touch with the folks from your band? I know you said
Yes,
that
yeah.
there was a breakup, and we don't want to go down that road. I just wondered if they're.
Yeah, we're still in contact. We just, manage the books and send the royalties, and that's about it.
So then the music that you created, so it earns you money still as far as royalties?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
So, I mean, that's, every quarter, $1,000 to $2,000 extra, just or so. I mean, it can change. It
Oh yeah,
depends.
still though, that is an area that I just know so little about. I mean,
Yeah.
when did you guys start doing that?
2011 maybe. So, it was like right out of college at that point.
So people who are looking to use your music, or you're earning royalties from them, are they using your music in like YouTube, or are they on television or commercials, or just any
It
and
depends. I
all?
mean, we were signed to a label in a subsidiary of Atlantic called Fueled by Ramen, and they get to basically just blanket license it to whatever. So it all depends. The majority of it's coming from Spotify.
Got it.
Hmm.
Got it. All right, folks. So I'm checking the time. It is the top of the hour. I want to thank Nick Allen. He is his links are in the description. So if you want to follow him on YouTube and learn more about what he does on his journey, that is down there. I also have the link to our original interview, which you can check that out if you are interested in. And for the folks that are in the chat, I tried to say hi to everybody, and people have been coming and going. I've been watching the stats go up and down as people jump on and off when they have the time. Thank you so much for being with us here. Next week, I think we do not have a guest, so it's just me, but we have Bo and Carl and Jesse, who is here in the chat also with us today, coming up in the next couple of weeks. And I'm super excited to be talking to them and talking to you all. So thank you so much for being here, and we will
Sick.
see you.
Thanks for having me, Emilia.
We'll see you next week.
See you guys.